What's up, YouTube? How's it going? There's your disclaimer. Read it real quick. And there you go. Boom. All right, so Bookmap had a whole bunch of crap down south. They have now rolled it off. They still have 43.50 on, and they piled everything up to 44.05. We just made a 40-point rally that initiated at 6:45 in the morning and has been going ever since. So about a 2-hour or 3-hour rally here, up to 4,400. XLF is very strong. All the tech is very strong. If you look on the market around, everything is green except for Meta. Meta is down. So Meta today is not beta. VIX is down to 1676. They were heavily green today. They are now barely green, 0.6%. Now that the market is open, I'm going to hit refresh on the options chain data. Yesterday, the options chain data was not painting a bullish picture. However, I am extremely happy that I did not carry my puts into today, obviously. 430 for today is the main GEX level with the flip of 429. And the delta, the dealer's deltas right now are positioned down to 430, but the bigger picture is next week. Next week paints a far lower picture than where we currently are. What's up, YouTube? At work and got this loaded up. Nice, Mr. Perfect. Corey, nice pumpkin. I like it. I went and picked 6 of our pumpkins yesterday at our farm. We have like 27 pumpkins remaining. It's crazy. Top wick back down to 43.89 here. They have liquidity up to 44.20. They removed 43.80. CVD is 2200 green. And again, watch for 44.16. That will be the imbalance from yesterday with the bonds news. TLT is still up to 87.65. After getting destroyed yesterday, they have bounced back up to 181%. And we have nearly recaptured all of yesterday's sell-off. Almost. I'm on a sweet potato kick. Nice. Yeah, we harvested our sweet potatoes about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna be patient too. I admittedly have a bearish bias for today because of the options chain data. So I'm gonna be patient in the morning and see if I can negate that bearish bias with all this stuff. So I'm gonna be patient the first half hour and see how this. Admittedly, the market is incredibly strong this morning. So Tesla just dumped over though. Nvidia top wicked and rolled over, and all of the X's are climbing back up here as well. We have Iceberg coming on down right back to 43.92. Now, strictly speaking with VPA terms, we've had 3 aggressive rejections off of the high volume node on the daily chart, which is about 44.10, 44.20. Yesterday was the 3rd one. So that is very critical in looking at volume price analysis here, that every time we enter into that supply, that the sellers do their job and defend. So the market structure is holding up where it should. The sellers are still doing their job. I would be very cautious on any kind of downside sentiment as long as the sellers did not do their job at those levels. So if they do rally the thing up to 44.20 and change today, I'll be looking for how the sellers respond there too. What's up, John? How you doing, buddy? Aloha. Any Fed news to watch today? We do have the Fed balance sheet later today, yeah. We had some economic data this morning that was not really that big of a deal. FOMC Harker was speaking today. And top of the hour, we have Michigan consumer sentiment, which is more of a play on DXY. So watch the reaction to DXY at 10 o'clock Eastern time. We also have the Fed balance sheet at 1 o'clock. Which that's not something we normally hear too much about. Do you think profit taking from heavy shorts today? It's possible. Although they immediately bounced that thing once we got down to 43.56, which, if you are tier 2, you knew that was a very strong macro level. So there you go. I missed a 300% fill by literally 10 cents. On my puts. quick. With the way we sold off and recovered like this, do you think yesterday was about them putting on a hedge of sorts? It's possible. I did not expect that kind of recovery after that kind of news, simply because of that. Obviously, a 50 retracement is pretty common, which I think we got overnight. We hit that 50 retracement, retrace half the move, especially with that big of a catalyst. So that's why I'm kind of just sitting on my hands here. So I'm not really sure what to make of it just yet. I'll let the first half hour culminate, and we'll go from there. It is October 13th, Friday the 13th as well. So NASDAQ is much heavier than the ES. NASDAQ is down now barely. It was heavily red about 2 hours ago. Now it's slightly red, almost break even. ES is up 0.4%, and that's mainly because energy is skyrocketing and XLF is skyrocketing with all the banks coming in and beating. If you want to dive into a little bit into the health of the banking sector, I would encourage you to be familiar with the FRED tool. Look up commercial delinquencies, loan delinquencies, unrealized losses on assets, mortgage demand, and everything else in between. You'll see exactly what's going on. There's a reason why the Mortgage Association is begging Powell to stop hiking rates. So there's a little red bottom wick back up, 4,400, and they've got 4,410. Let's take a look at options premiums today. We have a 25% IV, which is slightly lower than this week, and $12 premiums, which again is slightly lower than what we've had this week. So IV is just a touch down from what we were expecting to be. So pre-market high is right before the market open. It's at 43.97. We're holding above that so far. I'm going to continue to hit refresh on the GEX data this morning to figure out where they're going to roll this stuff. This morning, about 3 hours ago, a 430 touch seemed pretty likely. Now, it's way on down there. It would require about 60 points on ES to get down there. So it's interesting what they're planning on doing with this options chain data. Yeah, gold skyrocketed this morning. Like it went exponential. I mean, I don't normally track gold, but looking at their chart, that's a pretty dang strong move right there. What's DXY doing right now? DXY climbed all the way back up to 106. Is about to put another high in. Yeah, patience is definitely the way to go today. Yesterday, patience treated us well, and it'll probably do the same thing today. Orange juice continues to rally out of control. It's cray-cray. Still going, 4,400. Liquidity on Bookmap, there's nothing below except 43.50. Everything else is above 44.10. And once again, the buyers are still hitting this thing. 6,200C, green CVD. They're even putting liquidity up to 44.60, which is a 110-point wide spread on Bookmap. $44.06 all the way back up. 12-point pop right there. And right here, we've got 44.03 coming up to 44.20. Bacon and eggs, baby. Yeah, bacon and eggs. Yeah, Tuesday's event is down to 412. So we're coming up on another test here. We have about 10 points or so till we get into another test, and we'll see how they deal with that. But this is a pretty strong move. XLF is blasting up, so they've got a lot of strength. They're up to 33.64, pulling away. And we're still going. There's 44.07, 13-point bounce right there. Volume is gone already. TLT's up. Amazon is down. New low of the day for Amazon. VIX is still rolling off. And watch how VIX comes down to about 1650. What's up, sir? How you doing? We're just going to sit the first half hour and see how this thing moves. We caught it a fantastic move yesterday. I've already blown away my weekly goal, so doesn't really need to force anything too much here. So I'm going to wait for the half hour to culminate. Not to mention we have Michigan Consumer at the top of the hour, and we'll start putting on some positions here. Big old top wick again. Back down to 4,400. You as well, Mike Steels. Go back to the daily chart. So the daily chart yesterday printed a high volume sell-off, and then today looks, so far, is just printing an inside candle. Obviously, we have a lot of day left. We'll see how this thing fluctuates. But overall, the theme is wick. Going back to September 22nd, which is going on a month now, heavily wicked. Full participation across the buyers and sellers, which doesn't really indicate strength either way. It's just a lot of volatility. That's the name of the game right now. With the VIX being this high, with the IV pump we've had the past month, that falls in line with it. Every candle is heavily wicked. Every sell-off is bought up. Every buy-up is sold off, with exception of about 3 or 4 candles. So we need to figure out how we deal with this 4,400 touch here. Not to mention, yesterday's bond auction, we have more auction coming up next week, and then we have quadruple the size of an auction the week after. So continue to focus on, I would get up to speed with the treasury auctions that are starting to hit us. Nice, Mr. 50. Nice, Spider-Man. Best day in 2 years. 120% on port. I love it. I got my Canadian gun course this weekend. Nice. What does a Canadian gun course consist of? We had 4 streams yesterday, Fozzie. Yeah, we had the morning stream for CPI, and then we had our regular stream, and then we had the bookmap stream, and then after that we came back on the Discord and streamed the afternoon. Shooting and apologizing. Don't move, buddy. I'm not your buddy, pal. I love it. I love it. Did I make coffee and charts yesterday also? I did. So yeah, I had 5 streams. I forgot about that. We did do coffee and charts. 5 streams yesterday. Fed Harker says the Fed is likely to be done with rate hikes. They talked this morning, right after the data posting. Yeah, Amazon's getting destroyed. They're the weakest of the whole clan here. Meta popped back up, but they're down again. Tesla's down. Nvidia's getting smoked as well. Apple's coming off. So a lot of pressure here in tech coming on down to 4,400 again. I grew up in Buffalo, so I speak a little Canadian. Nice. Safety trading for 2 days and you get your license. It takes about 9 months to get the dang license. Dang. Our state implemented constitutional carry, which means we don't need licenses anymore. Which is the way it should be. $4,400. All right, so we have the small iceberg right here, 43.92. Florida's my second home. I love it. All right, hit and refresh again on the options state. On the options, not the state. I just read your comment. Options data. I'm going to keep on monitoring this thing. We have 430 still. Nothing's really changed. Vanna is all the way down 424 and 417. Man. And then, of course, next week, we're coming into OPEX. OPEX. Is there a regular schedule for coffee and charts? Yes. So every Thursday at 8:30 Eastern Time is coffee and charts. We didn't do it the week before because I didn't really have any setup to talk about. But I'll let y'all know when that happens. So normally it's every Thursday at 8:30. Oh crap! I need to. Yeah. So this CVD is driving me nuts. I had it working for a couple of days and now it's not back working, so I have to manually reset it. So I'll reset it now. What is Vanna? Vanna is a relationship of how IV, or volatility, and deltas. So, in a nutshell, when you get an IV roll-off here, it's going to change the underlying deltas, requiring the dealers to buy back hedges. And then that's why we get these crazy upward Vanna rallies after a lot of pressure or after a lot of hedging. When we're monitoring these excuse me, these Vanna levels, we want to see where the pull is, the overall pull is in the market, where dealers need to hedge or de-hedge or add positions on their underlying. Now that's a high-level view. Obviously, we don't know what any one hedge fund or dealer is doing, but it's just a conglomerate of the entire options chain that allows us to form a thesis. It's one of the reasons I put that put on yesterday. It's one of the reasons I'm looking for more red going into next week. Is your strategy applicable in futures trading? Absolutely, it is. Yeah. Absolutely. So my strategy is a simple representation of volume price analysis. It's understanding the relationship between volume and price action, and you can apply that to stocks, futures, options, whichever. What I'm looking for overall is high level and high confident moves on the daily chart. High confident moves don't come every day. It's not like every single day we could see a high confidence move, but every now and then we can identify something, and everything in between is just risk mitigation. Everything in between the high confidence move is just risk mitigation and speculating on decent moves. What's your thoughts on adding a voice channel so we can talk together in? I've done that. I did that initially when I started the community, and it was a terrible idea. So I'm not really a fan of it because one, it takes one bad egg to ruin the whole bunch. A lot of profanity, bull bear shaming, the same crap that I've been trying to get out of the community and just keep out of the community. The one thing I've learned in the investing community is that arguments will happen all the time because for some reason people have to be emotional about trading, and they get butthurt when someone else posts a strategy that's anti theirs. Drives me nuts. Coffee and charts is tier 2, yeah. So they're adding liquidity up to 44.25. Up to 44.10 here. Not really moving so far. Back and forth. Brenda going to chirp and complain. Yeah. $44. Yeah, so 44.16 is the imbalance from the drop. That's where I'll look to fill on upwards movement. XLF has a major pivot at 33.69. Today it got up to 66 before a little bit of a top wick on there. Do you have a link for commission on TradingView? I do have an affiliate link on TradingView, yeah. If you are going to sign up, though, I would recommend just pay for 1 month until Black Friday, which is next month. Black Friday, they give a 90% off deal, and it's pretty phenomenal. So don't sign up for a year until next month. There you go. All right, still hanging out here, 4,400. We have data in 8 minutes. Watching from the house today while we were waiting. Can you give my wife Jackie a shout out? What's up, Jackie? Denali Dub says, hey. Thanks for listening. We're open up our call. The quest line 1-800-337-7482. Your hottest hits all day long. 107, The Rock. I told my wife after breakfast I'm not eating until 7 p.m. I love it. Sushi tonight? Yeah, I love some good sushi, man. High quality sushi. What's up, Trev? How you doing, buddy? I'm holding some Google November puts. Nice. Right now, heading to 44.05. Let's take a look at premiums. They're about equivalently priced. So there's calls or puts are not higher than the other. IV is 26%, and we're just kind of creeping up here little by little into 44.05. Liquidity on Bookmap is up to 44.10. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same shame sushi's so dang expensive because it's incredible. I could eat the crap out of it. Love it. The volume is already back down, which is normal for this time, so nothing crazy there. It's why I don't really do too much VPA in the first half hour because it's hard when the volume always rolls off. And we are coming up on the top of the hour here. We have 6 minutes till 10 o'clock. Another top wick back down to 4,400. This is also the 5-minute POC. Right at 4,400. So there's a lot going on here at 4,400. Yeah. 5 minutes till data. 2-star data, Michigan consumer sentiment. All right. Do I publish my alerts for Tier 1? Yes, I do. I don't post high confidence trades too often because right now it's a pretty whipsaw of a market, but we do typically call out scalps and whatnot every day. Got a little green still creeping up here. So far, the sellers aren't able to do anything except a minute or two of a little bit of a drop. Bullard says that the Fed is going to have to hike up to 6.5%, which is way beyond the target rate that's currently priced in. So still a lot of contradictory talk between all the Fed members. or former Fed members. Is your updated trading view on SPY? It is on SPY, SPY. Thanks, Maddie. Hope yours as well is as well. Do you think markets price in data before they release? Yes. So the market is going to price in what traders are going to be trading around. That's the beauty of the options chain. Is the options chain is the heartbeat here, because that the options chain positioning is what's going to tell the dealers and hedge funds and everyone else for that matter how the market's pricing in stuff. And that's how it does it, because people are going to position themselves around what they expect and see, and that information is going to form a good representation, and we filter through all that information through some sort of software that tells us GEX and delta and open interest and volume and all this kind of stuff that we analyze and allow us to make a decision based on where this is going. Hedging, de-hedging, Vanna flows, gamma squeeze, short squeeze, all this stuff is representative of a data point of people's expectations. Yesterday was odd. I don't remember when the bond auction ever caused a move like that. That's because yesterday's bond auction was one of the worst in the past decade. The 30-year bond auction had about no bids, and they posted about a 4.8.5 yield. So the bonds got demand destruction was rampant on bonds. That's why the bonds absolutely got smoked. The yields rocketed, and we fell off 60 points. It's one of the worst bond auctions we've had in years, and it's only going to get worse. And all that tells us is that the bond market is expecting yields to keep on going up, because if they thought this was the peak in bonds, you'd start to see a lot more demand. And when the market does see a peak in the bonds, that's where you're going to get the rotation into safety, and bonds are going to freaking rocket. Equities are going to sell off, because people are still, the bond market is still expecting rates to go higher for longer, which is exactly what J Powell's been saying this entire time. I'm not going to take a position for the data. They are rolling off liquidity here. They still have 44.20, 44.10. Yeah. One meal on deadlift day, I need like 5. There's no reason to live if you can't do deadlift. Then the government runs out of money, can't pay back the bonds. Yeah, let's hope that. I mean, I'm bearish, but I don't want that to happen. If they default on their bonds, it's game over for the economy, period. I definitely don't want that to happen. All right, so here's the data. They've wiped off most liquidity. They've left on 44.20, 25.30. And a little bit of shaking and baking here. Down we go so far. First response is red. Amazon recovered some of their losses. $43.97. Coming on down again, down to 43.92. We have this iceberg, which is very light. Let's see if it builds. Looks like they're going to wipe right on through that. 43.92 on one on down. They have this little order block down to 43.90. So I don't see any high liquidity yet. It's actually pretty light. Nothing yet to kind of get me excited. The only thing left is 43.50, which was on there yesterday. This is also yesterday morning's low. If you still have yesterday's morning range on, this is yesterday's low right here. And we've already bounced off of it once at 9.25, and we're bouncing off of it again right now. So obviously this lower 43.90 area is pivotal. But so far, that is the morning low for today, right there, 43.91.50. Got to change the colors of these things. The morning high is 44.07.75. And now it's time to start looking for positions. We have the data out of the way. We have the first half hour out of the way. Now I need to start positioning myself in this market. We had a support resistance flip right there a few times on the daily for the past few months. Yeah, that 44.20 is still heavy resistance. So we're still rejecting that 44.20 area, which is my thesis for weakness here. So we need to hold over 44.20. We need to breach 44.20, hold it, and then we need to go up into that's when we'll look for 4,500. But we have to get over 44.20 first. But yeah, once that SR flips, it'll be support for the buyers. All right, I'm gonna hit refresh. That's top of the hour for the data. 13. Nothing's really changed. Still all the same. We bounced on a bottom. Look at that level, so I put in a speculative 14-day call. Like right now, just now. Nice. So still feeling down here, 43.95. Sell pressure is voluminous at the moment. Microsoft is hanging out. XLF is hanging out. Not really have any outliers at the moment. Watch the VIX still. If we start rolling the VIX off, we'll know. CVD is dropping, now negative after being 6,000 green. It is now 3,000 red. And we're slowly coming off here. Sorry about that. I had the TradingView link on ES. Just switched over to SPY. Yesterday's daily was number 3 broadening formation. Likeliest hood in a consolidation day. Yeah, that's the obviously that's the other opportunity, is that we're looking for up and down. We could just pin. Rising interest costs are pressuring the budget. No doy. Harker says there's always a chance of recession, but he doesn't expect a downturn, and a soft landing is quite possible. This is coming from one of our Fed members. 43.75 is being put on. I wonder if they intentionally tried to like oppose exactly what Jay Powell has been saying, like the Fed chair. It's like they go against everything he says on purpose. It's funny. What a clown show. So they did put on a little bit here at 4375. It's always fun. This is a great market, man. A lot of opportunity. I'm going to miss it. Amazon's going back up. Overall, we don't have any too crazy outliers at the moment. When does that guy talk? Yeah, unfortunately, that guy died in the 1700s. A little bit of pressure here. So Google's down. Tech has flipped back to red. NASDAQ is 0.01% red. So pretty much break even. I'm looking for an outlier move here. If anyone sees an outlier move on anything else that I'm looking at, let me know, and we'll start taking a look at it. But right now, Tesla is bottom of the range. Meta is falling lower. Google's starting to trickle lower. Nvidia is hanging out middle of the range. Amazon the same. Microsoft is top, and Apple's top, or middle of the range now. Apple's actually lower, nearing low of the day. SPX is currently 4365. At the money premiums are about $11. They are putting liquidity lower. 90, which has been 43.90 has been both resistance and support on Bookmap for a couple of days now. It's been pretty much the main target to go for. And now they've got it on below us, and after that they're adding 43.75. Boom. There's a high volume drop. See that volume come in? That's a big old attack on 43.90. CVD just jumped over and looking spicy. Where do we go? There was a question. Where do we go is the question. NASDAQ is down a little bit. That was a 20-point move on NASDAQ. They're still put 43.90 back on. They're adding more liquidity lower into 80 and 75. VIX is going up, 1740. XLF still really isn't moving, though. XLF is still hanging out, 3350. She loved it and was surprised. You the man. Thanks, Denali. Appreciate that. I'm glad she heard it. Bottom wick back up. I plan to subscribe to Tier 2. What subscription and platform and Bookmap should I have so I can follow your call? In Bookmap, I have the highest tier. I've got Global Plus with Rhythmic Data and the MBO package, which is pretty much the top data you can get. You don't necessarily need that. I mean, heck, you could even follow ES with free for the free add-on as long as you're not going to do any add-ons or anything else. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. Maybe if you want to test it out, you can do that, but I would at least get the one of the smaller packages. You don't necessarily need the most robust one that I have. Still kind of grinding down. That one tilted me so bad, I think I'm done for the day. Well, just, take a deep breath, relax. We're still heading a little lower here, so just do your thing. To have a real number of CVD for the day, put a up-down line at 8:30, and that keeps the left side of the screen on it. Yeah, I had the data set to open up at the time, but it worked a couple of days, changed, so I've been just hitting refresh at the open. Anyone ever try playing only calls or only puts? I feel like it mentally allows me to be more patient. Yeah, so one of the things I recommend if you're having issues is to only play one side or the other. So if you're good at playing puts, then in this environment, you're not going to get another better environment to play puts than 2023 and 4. So just wait until we turn down. Or if you're better at calls, only do that. Just be patient. Instead of figuring out which side of the card, which one to play today, just play only one side. So 43.90 still dropping. Looks like we're going to test this 90 again. They did not fill this liquidity. You see, they filled 90, the one that was there. They popped it. They put it back on, but they immediately took that back off. And now it looks like we're going to test this 87 and possibly even down to 80. So we'll see. VIX is climbing hard, blasting on down. VIX is climbing. Tech is trying to get some momentum. Asian markets fell 2.5%. German markets are down a full percent, and the Euro markets are barely red at the moment. So far, they are bottom wicking into this morning range, which doesn't indicate necessarily strength in sellers. We need a little bit more momentum here. Nice tug. Still hanging out. $43.90. And here's another retest right there. Coming on down. That's a new low by a tick. XLF is finally giving some back. CVD is still falling, 56, and we just filled a 300 order iceberg coming down. So we have to be able to put some momentum in without the buyers kind of defending this thing, obviously. Now this is also the prior pre-market. This is the pre-market pivot throughout the night, except for the big rally once we took that out. So it looks like we're finally going to take this baby out and roll off 43.88. Still dropping 43.87. Coming on down. Let's see what they can do here. Apple put a new low of the day in. Amazon hasn't moved yet. Microsoft is coming down. XLF is coming down. VIX is up. What's DXY doing? DXY is high, new pre-market highs. High of the day. Still dropping. Coming on down. You're still going to have to explain that to me, Robert. That cracks me up. Looks like you've got a couple hundred, what is that, billion? So 43.88. They still have liquidity down to 75. I've joined 3 other Discords, including yours, and yours is by far the best. Oh, thanks, Chip. Appreciate that. We're in it for the long game, baby. Thanks for being a part of the community, hanging out. It's good stuff. Managed to take 30% from now red on AMD. From SPY, now red on AMD. So there's our first buyer's response off of that level. How are they going to deal with it is the question. $43.88 top wicking on down. XLF is still going lower. top wick, move lower, pop in. VIX is going up, 1763. XLF is still dropping, and we're about to take out this iceberg. Scalp at y'all's discretion. That's a top wick off of the 4390 pivot. We just came up and retested 90 and top wick back lower. CVD is still dumping red, and XLF is still rolling over. Coming on down. Coming on down. Your live stream the best so far. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate that. Coming on down. Yeah, you and me both, Dan. You and me both. I just popped in myself. A lot of momentum here coming down with this move. So they came up and retested that 90, top wicked, and then roll it back over into 84. So we got a lot of pressure here. CVD just went from +6 to -6, 6,400. I've been making decent return trading the 15-minute MACD reversals of ES. I just don't hold my puts long enough. Trailing stops, baby. Trailing stops are your best friend. I have a level here from like a month ago. Nice. XLF is still dropping. So XLF drove a lot of the strength this morning. Now it's giving it all back. Giving it all back. What can we do? Have fun, boys. Nice for deck. I got 50% of puts based on one of your videos. I think it was best indicator. Yeah, the morning range, definitely. Still dropping, 43.86. I am currently short, but I watch out of how we respond with this channel for pre-market session. Yeah. So we've got 43.65, and they put on this cat right here, 43.60. On down. Dropping. Making a move. What position do I have now? I have 43.50s at 870. 43.50 puts at 870. We're coming on down to 75. I don't like these bottom wicks, I will say, but XLF finally gave it all back. That was pretty much my entry there. Amazon is being a bit of a turd. They're heading higher. TLT, the bonds, which is the big thing for all of this, the bonds are giving it back. So, we will see. I'm not really going too crazy today because I've already, like I said, I've already hit my weekly goal. So, if we start to see a lot of volatility kick up, I'll crank up the position sizing. But here, I'm just playing what I see here for the moment. Amazon is showing some relative strength given the fact that they were the weakest ones this morning. So, do I have options on futures or normal positions? Normal positions. I typically don't play options on futures. I'll play futures, but not options on futures. Apple is green. Amazon is green. TLT is down. And VIX is new. Not new high. Almost new high. They got 1780. Right off S1. $43.90. CVD is 4,400 negative. That just wiped out this 43.90 liquidity again. So this guy's been coming on and off. They had him on, filled it, put it on, took it off. Now they put it back on and filled it again. There's another big top wick right off that liquidity, 43.89. Gross price action. When you're playing calls and puts, which one are you playing? SPX. Yeah, the only time I'm playing ES is actual futures. I don't play options on futures. Big old top wick. Can they get this 60 cat right here? You're welcome. That should roll us lower with that kind of top wick. That's a nasty top wick. Off 43.90 rejection. Let's see if we can grab 75 here. We are able to net 204% profit yesterday. I was only one tick away from 300% before the market bounced right at my macro level, which, by the way, I'll go ahead and show you all this because we already respected it, but this was yesterday's macro level. And that is where I put my profit target. That was yesterday's bounce. See that dotted line? That was yesterday's bounce, and that's where I put my 300% profit target. And I got 299%, and then it bounced. No bueno. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yesterday was a fun day. It's a fun day. $43.88 still top wicking down. That would happen if you make your macro so strong. Yeah, tell me about it. So if this fails, I'm looking for 75. If that fails, we're looking for 60. So we'll just play level to level here. Level to level. Is there a way to convert the 4360 to SPY? Yeah, we could do the conversion real quick. I'll tell you. 43 is the value. So 4360 minus 43 divided by 10. That's 431.7 on SPY. 431.7. There's a big old top wick. That puts me about 20%. My entry is 870 on the 4350s. And that's a new low of the day right there. Can we grab the 80? I'm not getting crazy on this one because I don't see the momentum we had yesterday, obviously. Yesterday was a different breed. So I would encourage you all to set your trailing stops a little bit tighter than yesterday. So we'll see. You think they try to burn premium in the morning like usual, make a move? I'd probably say that's a high confidence bet right there, B-Mel. I don't like these top wicks. I'd like to see or bottom wicks. I'd like to see a little bit more momentum here. So Amazon finally gave out, and we're still holding 87. I'm going to hit refresh on the data, make sure I'm on top of things. Still the same. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Meta shorts 330 would have been nice. Yeah. 43.88. Coming all the way back up. So the sellers can't continue here. Can't do it just yet. That's surprising with that kind of top wick. We had a volume hit with the top wick, and we still can't move it lower. $43.90. Sorry about that. I had to respond to a message real quick. Oh man, 43.87. Still hanging out. What's our entry price and puts? 870 on the 43.60s. Or I'm sorry, 43.50s. 870. Hanging out. Right now we're consolidating right at 43.90. And XLF is climbing downwards. Not really too much movement here though. Liquidity is skewed to the south at the moment. Doesn't mean we can't oscillate up and down here for a little bit, but yeah. Top wick to 43.88. Tesla is dropping big time. They are down 1.4% after being pretty dang green this morning. Google's giving it out. Nvidia's dropping. So tech is giving some of this back here. Oil is up 4%. Why don't y'all tell me oil is up 4%? Dang, Gina. Short-dated VIX products are up 20%. So VIX products are pricing in a little bit of weakness here. Here comes a little bit of red. Can we get through? We've got to get through the prior pivot of 84, which now, by the way, the morning range is officially set. The low of the day is 43.84.25. Oil's up 4%, by the way. Dang it, Bobby. Can we get through this little order block to 80? That's the question. What indicator do you do your morning range? I just manually plot it. I haven't been able to find one that I like that works. I use Alt J, which is the what is that? The horizontal ray. Yeah, hotkey. If SPRI breaks 434, do you think we'll flush? I think if we break this level, we'll come on down and transact into the 432 area. But right now, obviously, there's not a lot of volume. We're not really moving here. So I'm just watching my premiums hang out, plus or minus a couple of percent points. So Right now, my eyes are on the banks in XLF and TLT, seeing how they can respond. Tech is giving it back. XLF gave it all back. And we're chilling. We've had a couple of major top wicks with volume, so I'm surprised we haven't followed through here, which shows you that the sellers kind of hit it and then stepped out. That Alt-J hotkey on TradingView is so useful. It is. It's pretty awesome. Any thoughts on the best place to hold cash short term for low risk, decent return? Yep, short dated treasury right now are the best place to go. There's rarely been a better time in history to park your money in short dated treasuries. 5.5%, 5.8%. Middle time. How do you buy those 5% treasuries? You have to go to treasuries.gov. And there's a process where you create an account, fund the account, and then you engage in the auctions. $43.90 still holding right here. They pay 5% a month. No, that's annualized. That's the annual rate. So you will have to roll that. You do what's called a treasury ladder, and you re-engage in the auction every month. Yeah, if it was 5% a month, the stock market would already have crashed because everybody would be buying those things. Everybody would rotate into bonds. I wouldn't even trade. You give me 5% a month guaranteed, I wouldn't even trade. Heck, even 5% a year is still fantastic if you have a good chunk of change that you want to park. $43.91, climbing up. Still in this little bit of a range. Yeah, 60%. There you go. Right now they've got 4,400 back on. The big stuff is lower here. They've got 75, they've got 60, and on down to 50, and they're even adding this guy at 43.37. But right now the sellers can't finish the deal. We've had a couple of major top wicks that had supported by nice volume. It's not flowing through. Not to mention XLF just bounced up. VIX is starting to come off. So all signs of a range day at this point. You can see all the keyboard shortcuts here in TradingView. Nice. Yeah. No way they range us on Friday the 13th. I hope not. $43.90, right back to it. $43.90. Liquidity up and down. TLT is coming on back down. Back to break even. Not yet, almost. Now back to break even. Pretty boring stuff so far. I'd like some continuation. $43.90. 5% per year sounds good until you subtract inflation. You're right about that, yeah. That is definitely a player. So the 15-minute has a top wick at the 10:15 candle, and the current candle, which is still, it's only halfway done, we have a top wick right now down to 43.90. So we got to get away from 43.90. Yeah, that was the whipsaw of the market, disciples, that we all should have been buying orange juice. Who would have thought? Orange juice. You give me some bacon futures and some eggs futures, and I'm set. Although I don't like orange juice. I think it's just sugar. But I'll eat some bacon and eggs all day. All right, another failure of 43.90 coming on down. We have 43.85 liquidity next. I am back in the green, barely. I need 43.84 to break if I want 43.75. Did I see gold? I did. It was going exponential. I don't really follow gold, but someone told me to go look at it, and I did today. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. $43.88. Oh man, my neighbor at the farm is selling his house. Let's see, what is he asking for this? 3 acres, 2,500 square feet, 840,000. Built in 1995. Comes out to $332 a square foot. Coming on down. New low of the day. That is a new low of the day right there, and that puts me up about 20% again. We just got to get through it and hold. Here we go. Now we're breaching. And today Owen's farm got bigger. Yeah. I wish I could had the kind of a liquidity to go throw down some cash on that right now. All right, here we go. We still can't get freaking through it. Another bottom wick. So I want to be patient here. I don't mind letting these go back to break even or even taking a loss on this position so I can be patient and wait for a wipe of 43.75. So I want to be I want to be patient, yeah, because if we do break this, we could wipe down to 75 pretty quick, and this will yield about a 40 to 50% profit. How many acres is my farm? 50. 50 acres. I bought that baby 3 years ago, man. I love it. That's my passion. 180 coming off on Apple. You are the biggest gabagool over there. Yeah. Coming on down. So I'm sitting right at about 20%. Man. The wuss inside me wants to go ahead and close this, but I'm trying to be patient for the 75. Still can't do it. I want that 75. Give it to me. Give it to me, baby. I'm at 53%. 53% is pretty awesome, man. If I was at 53, I'd probably go ahead and close mine, or at least just close everything except runners. That's a nice profit, especially as much chop as we've had to sit through here. Sorry about that. Got my Spotify up there. And bottom wick. Would you sell if you're holding a put from the top? Yeah. So if I was holding put from the top, I'd already been scaled out at this point. I'd still probably be holding some positions maybe, but I'd already scaled out a lot. Bottom wick. Which oil ETF or options? So I'll trade either oil futures itself, or if any kind of energy play, I'll play the energy companies direct. Which way we going? You just try to make your own prosciutto and dry legs somewhere. Oh yeah, I'd love to. This year, all we did is grew a lot. We grew a lot of pumpkins and corn. We have our own little pumpkin patch. 43.85. No, we didn't do squash this year. Last year we grew way too much and we didn't need much. Unfortunately, a lot of it went to waste because we couldn't eat it in time or can it in time. So we were loaded down with cans of squash and stuff. So we didn't make it. We didn't grow it this year. Yeah, I've traded the USO before. Not in a couple years though. What do you want to see in an hourly range indicator? I'll code it up and share it. Oh, nice. So I need. Yeah, that'd be awesome, dude. I need the high price and the low price for the first hour of the trading session. So from 9:30 Eastern to 10:30 Eastern, I need the top tick and bottom tick. For Linda Rescue's range, no, that's it. That's all she describes. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. That's awesome. That'd be a big help. Is there more data coming out? We've got the federal budget at 1 p.m. It's a 2-star event, and that is it. There's a couple of commodity and oil things coming out this afternoon, but that shouldn't move the market. It may move oil if you're trading oil. How do you know the difference between a late entry and waiting for confirmation? Technical analysis. I mean, that's what really figures out. There's times where I don't mind buying a put at the bottom. There's times that I think it's a terrible idea to buy the put at the bottom. There's calls at the top. That thing. If we're in a strong trend up, then you have to buy calls at the top because it's going to keep on going. As long as you're getting a sound entry on a bottom wick or something like that. It's really depending on technical analysis. All right, here's another breach lower. This should do it. Let me get 43.80. I'm going to go ahead and have to take. Oh crap! I'm going to go ahead and have to take $11. I think I'm losing confidence in this position, so I'm gonna close some at $11 when we get there, and then leave the rest. I don't like it. Hungry eyes. I've got 80s music in my head now. I still can't get $11. Come on. Come on, bro. Apple is selling off pretty hard. New low of the day. They're coming down to their pre-market levels. Dirty dancing. It's hilarious. Goog? Yeah. Am I going to put? I am going to put Alberto. That's almost my grandfather's name. Actually, it's not even close. Just the same letter. My grandfather's name is Alessio. His dad's name was Telesio with a T. So yeah. All right, boom, Yahtzee. I just got my 11 fill. Hungry eyes. I just got my 11 fill, so I'm still holding the position. I just scaled out at 11. So now let's see where we can go, baby. We have 43.77 now down to 75. Come on, baby. What's up, Maddie? Well done. 50%. All right, now they're adding 43.72. So what does this look like from a bookmap perspectoroni? They're adding liquidity lower. We have this 86 block. We have the 81 block down to 76, 73, 69, giggity, on down to 60. So as long as the sell pressure keeps on coming down here and they have the sellers eat this stuff up with these big red bubbles, which is what the bubbles indicate, then we can have a little confidence here that we're going to keep on transacting into this 43.75 level. That's my thesis for this position. It would help me a lot more if I could see XLF continue to roll off because they did drop all their profits, but I need them to retake 33.25. 33.25 right now is the main pivot we're dealing with on XLF. VIX is heading higher. Bonds are heading lower. So all of this is pointing to at least weakness at the moment. It could change, obviously, as all things do. But at the moment, it is showing a little bit of weakness. There goes Apple. There goes Amazon. Down we freaking go. Come on, baby. My entry on these puts is $8.70. We're currently sitting at $12.10. I've already taken one exit at 11. I've already locked in a little profit. Can we get 43.75? That's the question. Here we go. $12.60. I'm past 50% right there. I might take off a little bit more at 13. Now it's in your head. I apologize. Apologize. Yeah, I'm going to take off some more at 13 here, just because I don't want what happened yesterday to happen to today. Oh man, it's still going. There's 13.10. There's 13.40. 13.50. Wow. Give it to me, baby. Now we're going. Heck yeah, baby. Can I get another 100%er? That's the question. I have a long way to go. I need 17 to get 100%. I have a long way to go. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Holy crap. All right, I took off a little bit right there. That's another scale out. I'm holding about 30%, 40% of the original transaction. Nice, Trippy Mike. What a way to start the day. So options data will assist waterfalling today if selling starts. Yeah, man, me and Disciple are just right here. We're just right here, baby. Love that guy. Although you could be confirming my bias, at which point you're my enemy. But if you're my enemy, and I'm friends with my enemy, then you are now my friend. All right, 43.73, still coming on down. 123%, nice Trev. Man, you're killing it, buddy. Killing it. Volume is starting to enter. I'm at $15, now $16 for these puts. I need $17.40 for 100%. Will Daddy get it? Will Daddy get it? Uh-oh, we're almost there. Can I continue the streak? $17. Can I get it? Come on, Daddy's got hungry eyes. Let's see it. One more push. Yahtzee. Susan Lucci. Streak continues. I don't know why I say Susan Lucci. I don't know where that came from, a skit a long time ago. But hey, $18 on premium. There's another 100%. And now we're eating it. Let's go, baby. Num, 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 num. Crab cakes and sack lunches. Football and crab cakes. That's what we do. Name the movie. 43.69. Now we've got 43.60 on deck. Coming off. This is why I wanted to be patient right here. Wedding Crashers. I love it. I don't know. What do we got? 430? Set trailing stops, just like yesterday. Set trailing stops, just like yesterday. Booyakasha. Patience pays, baby. 43.60, or sorry, 43.50 was my strike. 43.50 was my strike. We had two 100-plus percenters yesterday. Today we just secured our other one. And we're just continue on rolling. Continue on rolling. Is this turning into a trend day? Yeah. In order for me to get real excited, I need to take out yesterday's lows. Otherwise, we're just heading on back down to yesterday's lows. Hungry. All right, still riding 43.72. I ain't gonna lie, they had me in the first half, but we got him in the second half, Twizzy. We got him in the second half. Keep on holding. Set your trailing stops. Apple, let's take a look around the block on market awareness. Apple's down. Amazon rolled. Microsoft rolled. Nvidia rolled. Google rolled. XLF rolled. TLT is coming down. VIX is rocketing to 1836. Took out the weekly. That's not correct. Almost got the weekly high. We still have Monday to deal with. So the VIX is up. And then more importantly, the actual data is down to 430 on SPY. And then next week is 412. That is 20 points down on SPY. 200 points on ES next week. Still coming on down. All right, I think that's enough for Eric Carmen. I need a new 80 song. How about Huey Lewis? Did I take puts? Yes, I did. Coming on down to S3 here. is a curious thing. 43.68 right here. 2,800. They did trim a lot of that CVD off. It was 66,000. Right now it's 2,700. The power of puts. Jerome for winning comment of the day. I love it. I love it. I'm holding about 15% of my original position. So I've scaled out of most of it. I secured about 110%. And now I'm holding the rest. If we break yesterday's lows, it's going to be a waterfall. It's going to be nasty. Frank Sinatra. Yeah. When I was a big Yankees fan, I still am, but when I was big into it, obviously New York, New York was my theme song during October and November when Yankees rolled over everybody in the 90s. And now they're terrible. VIX is still going up, 1845, 43.69. I have a 428 put in SPY that expires today. Do you think I should roll it over? That is aggressive. I don't know if we'll go down that far today, Trailin. That's a pretty aggressive put. If that thing should be pretty much already at worthless, shouldn't it? Or if you're talking about a short put. Still going lower here. Yeah, more volume's coming in here. We have 43.60 on deck. You're welcome, Thiago. So I'm just going to recommend the same thing. This is starting to turn into pretty heavy. Not quite as heavy as yesterday. Not quite as high volume, although the volume is picking up here. So I'd encourage you to set a trailing stop. Obviously, we can't ask for another move like yesterday, but... And by the way, volume nodes, yet another aggressive rejection off for the mid 4,400 area. That is now 4 aggressive rejections off that 4,410 area. In a VPA mindset, this is getting ready to move lower next week. There you go. What's the difference between a long put and a short put? Long put means you buy to open. Short put means you sell to open. A short put is a riding premium mechanism to collect credit. Have you seen that video on Twitter where a guy lost around 100K live on futures? Is that dude that he was up like 85 grand and just let it tank and never stopped out? Yeah, I've seen that thing, if that's the one you're talking about. That's heart-wrenching, man. Heart-wrenching. I hope that's fake. I don't know who those people are in that video, and I don't know if that's real or fake, but I hope that's fake. Do you always do limit orders? I do. RG Brewski. I do. I think we're about to head lower into 65. The book is skewed down. What do you think, Twizzy? Are you going to screenshot my premiums later today or not? Is it one of those days? That play came up to 200K. Did it really? New low right here, coming in lower. I want you to get it too, Twizzy. I love it. I don't want it to be. I hope I hold these things into the dirt. I hope. Coming on down. Oh, wow. He held it back up to 200. Nice. Probably wouldn't have done that, but I'm glad it worked out for him. What a day, man. What a day. Still heading lower. I have 3 remaining outs on SPY on 14-day expiration 434. Should I keep holding them through next week? My personal thesis for next week is red. You do what you need to do, but the options chain data is overwhelmingly stacked to the south. So, and not to mention, we just had 4 aggressive rejections off 44.10. Yeah, no, I was just messing with you, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Insane huevos of diamonds? Yeah. I hope I get to see my friend again, Andy Dufresne. Can we move lower? We have 432 on SPY, so if we are going for the 430 gamma and the 429 flip for 0 DTE today, GEX, what we're looking for is right here. Hello, is it me you're looking for? Right there. I'm all about the 80s today, man. That's what we're looking for. $430. That's what that line is right there. What'd you do, Kit? You got another 100%? Is that what you're saying? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I just got 90 bucks off that 480 from last session. Love you and love the learning curve. Nice, Alex. Love it. Well done. I think we are about to transition into this 4360 area. You see them chasing this liquidity down? That is not bullish. We're about to wipe 4365 and come on down to 60. CVD is building back lower. We have more absorption at 65. I'm currently up about 110%. Coming on down. We just wiped out the prior pivot at 65. Next on deck is yesterday's lows, and now we're dumping. Here we go. There's 65. I need $26 to hit 200%. $26 to hit 200%. We're nearing it. We're nearing it. Coming on down. If we wipe out yesterday's lows, we will plummet. We will plummet. Still going. I'm approaching 200%. Dropping. 4360's next. Set your trailing stops. Don't get hung up on this on watching this thing explode. Set your trailing stops. Don't give it back. Scale out. Be smart. Be smart. Be smart. Small accounts, small positions, hard to hold past 100% move like today. Yeah, with small accounts, you obviously, with small accounts, you don't necessarily have the luxury of waiting a lot. You have to take what you can get. Nice Trev stops. That's beautiful. So you secured 200%, 205. So now I ask myself the question, what else more do you want? That's what I ask myself. So I'm going to start setting that trailing stop a lot tighter, a lot tighter. And now, once you scale out and you're holding runners, do your thing. That's what I do. Once I'm down to just runners, which right now my position sizing is a little bit too big to call runners. Once you're down to runners, do what you want. Like set your trailing stop down to 20% and just let it do its thing. That's the whole point of runners, you know. Just don't lose money on the runners. That's all. Now we're coming off here 43.60. I'm approaching 200%. 43.55 is yesterday's lows. We're 7 points away. 43.60. Do I need to add more exposure? I'm not going to add more exposure at yesterday's lows. If we take it out, I'll add more. 43.60 coming on down. I'm at 23% or $23 a premium. I'm almost 200%. Let's go, baby. If I hit 200%, I'm closing out everything but 3 contracts. Everything but 3 contracts. Now here's 43.60 coming on down. Do you see the absorption here by the sellers? Attack, absorb, attack, absorb, attack, absorb, over and over and over again. And they're adding even more lower. This guy on the upside, look what they're doing. They're chasing it lower. These bids are chasing lower, which means there's no strength in buyers at the moment. They're chasing the bids down here. We're back down to the macro level I told you all about. My macro is 43.59.75. So we get through this, we get through yesterday's lows. Now we can jump out of the airplane with no parachute and do a high altitude low open. By the way, for my pumpkin lovers, I've had the first time I've had a pumpkin related product and absolutely love it. It's the best pumpkin product I've ever had. Big old bottom wick, right on the freaking macro level. $43.60. Man, look at that bottom wick right there. Right off freaking macro. Killing me. Killing me. Killing me. So that is something we did not get yesterday on the move down. We never got any major hammers just like that. Close my short right after you said we were approaching the macro. Well, there you go. There you go. On down. So that just wiped. I just went from 270% to 80% on my runners on that bottom wick right there. Terrible. Terrible. But hey, we had a lot of fun, didn't we? It's not about the journey, it's the fun you had along the way. I feel like that saying is it was one of your wives' kitchens. Written in cursive. Live, laugh, love. Anyone? Anyone? Live, laugh, don't. So, yeah, we just stopped out a couple of stops there. Let's see if we can rotate it back down after a nasty bottom wick. Terrible. That's from Cleveland, yeah. That's nasty. So that's what we need for sell strength, is to show us that the sellers can overcome that bottom wick. This is the confirmation candle. If you want the 3-candle pattern, so if you're on YouTube and if you are someone who's looking for this back up, you've got, this is the 2 of the 3 candles is in your favor. The 3rd candle is this one here, the confirmation candle. If the sellers wipe this back down, it fails the hammer. And now it's just continuation. So this candle has to close bullish to get your pattern of going back up. Now, the 3-candle pattern is more confident the longer time frame you go. So right now we're on the 5-minute. So if you were to do this on the 15 and confirm on the second 15-minute candle, that is even more confident to at least head back up, maybe even to here. But we need to see how this candle closes and how this candle closes on the 5. Time frame continuity. We have 43.60, 43.50 on. 3% on my port today. Got stopped out on that bottom wick. Nice, Senator. I love it, buddy. I love it. I'm really introverted. If I had a sign like that, it would be live, laugh, leave. Thank you. Appreciate that. Another 1.84 increase on my port. I had an awesome week. I'm logging off. Nice, Damien. Damien has been killing it, dude. Absolutely killing it. I love it. Well done, dude. Keep it up. So now we have a doji. 43.66, just waiting. How much weight do you give the overnight lows? A lot of weight. A lot of weight. Like my benchmarks from 10 years ago. Right now, not so much. $43.60 right here. The most, actually, it's actually 11 years ago. I was doing 415. Right now, it's about 330. I don't know if I'll ever get back up there. I was doing super draw back then. Don't ever let anyone tell you that steroids are bad. They're extraordinary. They're the best thing ever. Let's go. Yeah, buddy. 43.67 right here. So with that doji, the next candle should be tell direction. Yes. So after a doji, that is a weakness signal by the buyers. Does it mess with your mood? It depends on you. Here's the way I look at it. If you're a douche, it makes you a bigger douche. So that's all it is. So it's not going to change who you are. It's obviously going to increase your testosterone. But Yeah, just like alcohol. Yeah. 43.70 right here. Arnold Schwarzenegger comes out and says Democrats want to F up all the cities in America. Coming from the guy who literally said F your freedom 2 years ago. Refresh. I've been doing well on the patience front later, but this morning, like a jabroni, I mucked around in the morning, took 2 trades, both losers. Stopped out, took a breather, waited for something clear. My next trade more than made up for the losses, and then some. Gonna call it early. Thanks as always. Nice, Twizzy. I love it, buddy. Well done. Well done. I love it, dude. Keep it up. Thought was frowned upon and unhealthy. Yeah, if you use any, obviously, I was kidding about the steroid comment, obviously, partially. But there's actually a lot of studies that testosterone enhancement is actually extremely beneficial. Obviously, abuse is not enhancement. So there's like cancer patients and AIDS patients that testosterone is a wonder drug. $43.70. Lower volume. So the volume is dropping off on this move. I'm still holding my position. About 15% of my position. I don't mind letting this thing do its thing. Hey, guess where XLF freaking bounced? This stupid 33.25 line. Look at this. It's one of those things where, man, ignorance is bliss. Sometimes I wish I wasn't good at picking out pivots. Ignorance is bliss. It's annoying. I saw a headline where the Navy is looking into steroid use within Navy SEALs. Really? That's pretty cool. Live, laugh, ignorance. I love it. So another doji. We have back-to-back 5-minute dojis. The buyers are unable to step in at the moment. All right, Hugo Lewis, that's enough of you too. Live last few. Dude, I have to recommend that to him. He'll love it. I need to make a graphic of the live, laugh, love signs and put the last one as few and send it to him. I guarantee you he'll repost it. Guaranteed. He's already reposted one of my tweets. Anybody good with the Illustrator? Do it real quick. So doji, the buyers are neutral at best here. about. I love it. You were talking about the first hour high and low doesn't trade if you have an initial balance. I've seen one before that it was wonky. I didn't like it. It's worth it to open a small put here? Possibly. Possibly. But I would hold off. I need to see. Right now we're seeing signs of neutrality. I need to see weakness to enter more liquidity for me, or enter more exposure. There's 43.69 right there. When did I enter the puts initially? Here, I'll give you the whatchamithing. Right here. Let me mute this. Right there on the 5-minute chart. A-firm, yep. So when we came down to this range, XLF finally started to move. The entire market shifted lower. We hadn't yet set the morning low yet, because you have to remember that red line there is the morning low. And liquidity started shifting lower, 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 lower. Not to mention my thesis of going to 430 today. So, dude, you had one day yesterday. Today, what'd you take today, Spider-Man? That's awesome, dude. You're killing it. Freaking love it. Freaking love it. Coming on down. $43.65. Still heading lower here. So there's the. You see the neutrality by the buyers is the best thing they could do. And then look at this. Look, the volume immediately dropped off. The buyers could not do anything here. And then what happens? We transact lower. And here comes my 200%. Neutrality at best. Dojis. So that confirms there's no V. Absolutely, Trev. Absolutely. Coming on down. Next step is the low of the day. 43.55. Liquidity's on down 43.60. Once we take this out, we'll look for 50. CVD is continuing to dip red. And you see the sellers transact. The sellers are hitting this chart in a very big way. Microsoft is down, Amazon is down, Apple's down, XLF is finally about to give out 33.25, and VIX is absolutely rocketing. So all signs are pointing to 43.50 after that little sell right there. But we need the sellers to transact, come in a big way, big red bubbles, wipe out 60, and then we'll have 50. Becoming a tier 1 sub. Are you live on Discord? A-firm. I do have a podcast on Spotify, by the way. If you are on Spotify, I have a podcast labeled Making Millionaires is the name. But no, I stream on Discord and YouTube. $43.62. I have a podcast voice indeed. Thank you. Thank you. I've never been told in my life I have a good voice before until you jabronis. It's kind of weird, but I love it. 43.60. I do have a face for radio. Yeah. If you were to take a silicone mold on my face, it would probably be the best winning. It would probably be the best-selling Halloween costume. 43.60. Yeah, sloth. All right, here comes my 200%. Here we go, 43.59. Dropping back off. 43.57 is next. $43.59. Next on deck is $43.55. Here we go, baby. Here we go. There's 24.5. I need 26 to get 200%. I'm closing out all but 3 contracts if I get 200%. All but 3. An absolutely phenomenal week. Absolutely phenomenal week. If this closes without bouncing. What's my percentage for the week? Just shy of 6%. Just shy of 6%. Which to me is phenomenal. I know that's not much to you all, but to me that's phenomenal. Yeah, it's. I've had multiple 100%ers. If this closes at 200, it'll be back-to-back 200%ers. Coming on down, 43.60. We need to wipe out this 57. Bottom wicking back off. We have low of the day again at 55, so it's going to require some. It's going to require the live left view. I love it. It's going to require a lot of gumption by the sellers to get through that low. Right here. 6% of $1 billion is 60 million. Yep, I made 60 million this week. Yeah, I wish I had that kind of change. That'd be nice. 500 miles. Bad app. All right, so we have 43.63 attack. Look what they did to 43.50. They've got this guy on, but they're shifting it lower, and now they're doubling down on 50. All right, still hanging out 62. Still hanging out 62. Hmm. $43.63. A lot of wicks right now. Just got to be patient. Got to be patient. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. I try to be patient here. 43.65. Still waiting for 57 and then 50. We have a little bit of a hold up here. What's them runners at now? They're currently about 130%. Now I've got to drive 2 hours into Pennsylvania for a wedding. I apologize. Is there anyone who actually enjoys going to weddings, by the way? You do? No? My wedding was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Cautiously raise his hands, yeah. Your girlfriend, unfortunately. I love it. All right, still hanging out here. A couple of bottom wicks. We do have the buyers once again defending yesterday's lows. Defending yesterday's lows. I thought that was my push to 200%, but we're still defending yesterday's lows. It's not going to be easy to break them. The book is skewed south, but it's not going to be easy to break those yesterday's lows. We have a high volume bounce yesterday at 43.60 or 43.55. Yesterday's lows after a big move lower. So it's going to require the sellers to really defend and to come lower. $43.66. The buyers are bringing it back in. Have you ever been to an Italian wedding? Yeah. I'll tell you what, Danny. I've been going through all my home movies here. With my mom passing back in June, I've been going through all my old stuff and videos and stuff, and I have a video of my christening in New York because I was born in New York. I was raised Catholic. I'm currently no longer live in New York and no longer Catholic. But we had a christening, and it's all like my dad is as Guido as you can get. Like he looks like he's out of the Goodfellas. All my grandparents too, and they're all dancing and they're all like doing the hand signals and stuff like this. Super strong New York accents. Man, it's like this movie looks like a mafia list. It's terrible. Yeah, the hair all slicked, gold chains, wife beater shirts. I look nothing like that. I take after my mom. What are we watching right now? Yeah, this is consolidation. Right here. The buyers have hit it. Back to 43 or 432 on SPY. Overall, by the end of the day, I'm looking for 430 right here on SPY. Yeah, what Ivan just said. That's a good representation right there. VIX is still climbing 19, above 19 again. And the VIX is now up, man, 13.8%. All right, 43.65. If 430 is taken out, it's going to be spicy for sure. Sorry to learn you lost your mother. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was a long battle. She was diagnosed with lung cancer last May, 2 Mays ago, and it got her this May or June 7th. 43.65 right here. Appreciate your condolences, though. Thank you. A man doesn't know what happiness is until he's married, then it's too late. Oh my gosh. I don't know what y'all mean. I'm incredibly happy. I have the best wife in the world. Love you. 43.65 here, top wick. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm thankful to be here for sure. So I still got my runners on. 15% of my original position. We're back and forth. VIX is still holding up. I've got 33.25 still holding on XLF. Right here. Oh man, 306 people watching. If you wouldn't mind, hit that like button. Appreciate your support of the community. Kind comments, good stuff, helping one another. If anything, we could definitely hang out with each other and be void of the crap that's around the internet. Exchange ideas, talk, have fun, rib each other a little bit. What's my target? 430 SPY. That's my target today. In my opinion, once we breach 430, I think 429 is likely, and then that'll probably pretty much be it for today. I think 429 could net the bottom of the day. Set up another conference already. Yeah, we need to do that for sure. Me and Mrs. Arm are kind of going back and forth about that, which way to go, where to go it, and when to do it, and where to go. I want to go to Montana. I want to do a conference in Montana where we can enjoy the outdoors a little bit and hang out, but can we do it during market hours? Probably not. I thought about that. In order to do that, we'd all obviously I'd have to have a secure internet connection for everybody. Everybody would be trading, and it'd be weird, like seeing everyone's screen and stuff like that, and having a high data and stuff. So, not to mention, I want to be locked in trading. So, probably not. If we did it, Montana state population would instantly double. 43.68 back up. 430 in SPY, yeah, right here. So this line is 430. Right there. It's odd how well those things line up with levels. It is. I've not opened the Ustream stream, but just jumped in and gave you a like. Thanks, Kit. Appreciate that, buddy. What's up, Jay? First time here. You're awesome. Very relaxed. Just following along. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate that. Thanks for hanging out. And welcome to the community. Feel free to ask questions. No question's a dumb question. I'm just saying I'm 1,000% there for the next one. Last one I couldn't make it because I've been financially responsible to go on a trip like that. Was changing jobs. Now I'm ready to go. I love it, babe. Love it. I look forward to meeting every one of y'all. We had an awesome turnout last time. I hope it's even bigger so I can meet even more people. It was fun. I had a lot of fun. Not to mention this time I want to do a little more relaxed stuff. That's not necessarily so hard-nosed, where we can chill and just hang out. Been gone for a while, but jumping back in and listening to you again this week has been great. Thanks, Burton. Welcome back, buddy. You're very welcome. Jackson Hole Symposium. I'd love it. Oh, yeah, we could do our own Jackson Hole. You know what? Let's do it. Let's go to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. We're going to do our own Jackson Hole. That's a fantastic idea. How funny would that be? Is there a particular volume profile you like? Yes, I do. Here, I'll tell you. Uno momento. Right here. Jackson Hole is incredible. If you've ever been, it's awesome. I'd love to go. Yeah. Yeah, Trev, I saw that. That's hilarious. Can you explain the thought process for the rest of the day after morning range is set? Yeah. So let's take a look here. There's the morning high. So I set the morning range on the high and low of the first hour of the day. So the first hour high is there. The first hour low is here. So that's the morning range. Now, the way I use this, there's a bunch of different ways that I look at doing this, depending on the price action. And today we're down. So for me, what I will be looking for is one, if we go into the afternoon holding under the morning low, that is a trend down, and probability says we're going to hold at lows of the days, if not putting a new low. If we start to climb, I'm going to look for some sort. For example, if we start to do this, I'm going to look for heavy resistance at this level. At which point we'll either pin the rest of the day or put another low in at this level. Now, all of this is based on probabilities, not certainties. So I'm not saying we will never come back up to the high of the day. I'm just saying probability. It's a low probability event. Now that we're going into the afternoon with below the morning range, it's a low probability event to recapture this level up here. If it does, cool, we'll play it, but that's a low probability event. So from here, I am looking for holding under this level with sellers holding into the low of the day, and if we do go up, I'll be using this as resistance. Now on a range day, I'll just be looking for, this style of price action on a consolidation day. Pivot somewhere in this area. Etc., etc. Is there an indicator that marks that? There is some open stuff that does like this, but it doesn't work very well. We have a member that's going to code it up for us, though. I have one doubt, please, when I use Bookmap. The speed is very fast. How to slow it down? Can you make a series of Bookmap settings? Yeah, I already have a Bookmap video that explains my settings. In terms of speed, I don't know I don't think you can slow it down. I don't know. I don't know, maybe. But if you do, it's going to be delayed data. It's not going to be live, which you don't really want. For me, I will say I am different from other Bookmap traders because if you go on Bookmap stream and you go in their Bookmap Discord server, like everyone on Bookmap is zoomed in like this. They're all the way in. This is not the way I trade because I don't want to be a two-tick scalper. I zoom all the way out and I want to look at the whole landscape of the whole order book. I think this is far more important than looking at every individual little tick. I want to see the whole landscape. What's going on here? But if you are zoomed in, you're not going to see them building 4350. Are you waiting until after the bond auction next week for bond play? Honestly, I don't know what I'm waiting for. I am. I'm not. I'm imminent on a purchase, but I'll know it when I see it. One of those things. I think dollar cost averaging is a smart play. I do think we're going lower with the bonds, but I think the reason why I want to start dollar cost averaging is because no one is going to be able to anticipate when the bonds are going to rocket. I think it's going to blast everybody in the face, and no one's going to see it coming. So, in order to take advantage of that trade, the only thing to do is to dollar cost average. Let me get it for you, facts of life. Hold on a second. Un momento, por favor. There you go. I'm talking to my financial advisor today about getting into some treasuries. Any advice, talking points? Take advantage of the short dated. It's not often we see 1 month treasuries yielding 5.5%. Take advantage of it. In my opinion, well, no, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to have people doing that. But what I am doing is rotating my TSPs, not my stock holdings, my TSPs into treasuries because I think the time is coming where treasuries are going to freaking rocket. I already did that last or 2 years ago, year and a half ago. I rotated them back into equities, and now I'm getting ready to put them back into the G fund. The G fund for treasuries is the bond for TSP, the bond market. Hey firm. TSP is a government's version of a 401k. And I'm a government employee, so I have a TSP. I'm expecting rate cuts eventually, yeah. I think we're coming up on it. I would probably say we're still 10 to 12 months out on rate cuts, yeah. Do they match the TSP? Yes, they do. They match 5%. I max out 15% every month, every single month since I was 18. You hear crows? Yeah, I got my windows open. A firm, RDHR, the G fund. Oh, you're welcome, Fax. I'm not telling you all to do that, but that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Say it again. What do you want? What was it? Oh, bond auction yesterday. Yeah. So the problem was yesterday, the yields printed 4.87, and there were no bids. No one's buying the bonds right now, which is a demand destruction. As the yields are going up, the bonds are going to go down. Why? Because the bond market is anticipating the rates to continue to go up for longer. That's why there's no demand in bonds. No one is going to buy the bonds, especially on an institutional level, until the rates are going to stop going up. So that's all the arguing and back and forth and crap of rate cuts and higher for longer and all that crap. Cool. Have your opinion, but look at the bond market. The bond market is telling me they think the rates are going higher for longer. Because if they did think that rate cuts were coming, there's no more hikes, they would start buying the bonds. And I do think we're nearing that actually happening. We're nearing the point of where the bonds are going to start basing, and we will start rate cutting and going up. But right now, because of the fact that no one is buying bonds, that tells me the treasury market, institutional treasury market, is not looking for the rates to come down anytime soon. Maybe within the next 6 to 12 months. So as the yields go up, the demand for the bonds are going to go down. No one's buying them, which is what happened yesterday. That's why the 30 years tanked and the 30-year rates went up to 4.87 or something. And that's why the treasury markets got destroyed. So tomorrow or next week, the problem is that next week we are teed up for a lot more bond sell-off, and then the week after that, it's like quadruple of what happened yesterday. That's the problem here. And that's why people like Michael Guyette are saying everyone's screwed. He says it, F the F word. He says everyone's screwed because we don't know what's coming. I don't know what's coming. I'm just trying to piece together my education to form a plan, but I don't know what's coming. It's terrible. Jamie said today with JP Morgan that this is the most dangerous time we have ever been in. The controller of one of the biggest financial institutions in the world says this is the most dangerous economic time we've ever been in. What's my Lux Algo setting? Look back is 500. Yeah, with a 200 width. So, now you're good. Ask it every day, Nancy. I want you to make sure you'll get it. 43.57, new low of the day, and I'm back to approaching 200%. Once I hit 200%, I'm closing out everything but 3 contracts. Once I get to that point, I'm setting a 50% stop loss, and I'm taking my hands off. And it's either 1,000% or 50% at that point. Turn around. Y'all ever heard the Dan Band? It's hilarious. That's what I'm listening to now. 43.55. Coming on down, baby. Here, hold on a second. I'll get you all the settings. Let me look at this. I don't want to get cavalier because my 200%, unfortunately, it's looking like it's corresponding to the low of the day. So I might get 200% just as we hit low of the day, and I don't want to get bottom wick like I did yesterday. So just give me a second here. I've got my order form up for everything except 3 contracts. I need 26.10 for 200%. I'm still $1 off. This is my target, 430. We're still drilling. Here comes 55. You see the demand destruction, or not demand, I got bonds on my mind. Do you see the order, the sellers is absolutely absorbing everything? Bam, with no problem. They're just eating through everything. Complete seller's control at the moment. Once we wipe out this 55, we'll come on down, attack 50, and now we're well on our way to 430. So set your trailing stops. I'm still holding mine. What I'm looking for is the big red bubble, and we're going to have one of these attacks right here. You see this attack? You're going to see that right here. Once we have the first seller's absorption come in, you'll see that. Transact through 55. That'll put us at new low of the day. And now we'll start attacking 50. But first, we got to get through 55. Right here. Can you show live P&L? Nope. I don't show profits. That's the one thing about our community is that we don't show profits. We don't talk about position sizing because we're not about the money. We're about positioning and execution. 43.56 coming on down to 55 here. We got to get through this level. And friends. The friends we make along the way. Watch this right here. Right about now, give or take, we're going to see this big bubble come in and blast through. Live, laugh, few. I love it. Bam, right there. So there it is. There's my 200% Yahtzee. Man, there's 210%. I'm going to go ahead and take that. I'm going to do exactly what I said. Filled. So now I am out of everything except 3 contracts. I netted my 200%, and here we go. New low of the day, new low of the week, new monthly low. That's not accurate. New weekly low. I got ahead of myself. All right, coming down to 43.50. So I am out, all except 3 contracts. Showing profit could discourage new traders. Yeah, that's exactly why I do it. I started out showing that kind of stuff, and it's just nonsense. Not to mention, ego is too big a part of it. People with bigger accounts than me, smaller accounts, so there's everyone start. It's just terrible. That's not why we're here. I don't want people bragging. That's not the point of why we're here. I'm very adamant about I want to see your system, or I don't want to see anything at all. I'm not interested. I'm not impressed by big profits. I'm impressed by execution. Michael Burry just tweeted, hedge funds are required to disclose stocks they are shorting under the new SEC rule. Interesting. But we all know they won't do it. They'll just have rat holes and other backdoor stuff. I appreciate the effort, though, on the SEC's part. You see this guy still rolling this thing lower? They've rolled this thing all the way down all morning. 75, 72, down and down and down and down and down. $43.54. That's a new low of the day, new low of the week as well. Coming on down. How low can we go? That's, again, I'm wrong. I keep saying that. Yesterday's lows. How about that? We need 43.50. Another base hit. Nice tug. 102% base hit, man. Yeah, it broke my macro for sure. I've secured my 200%. I got an amazing entry right off the rejection of 432. Nice. Man, these are fun trends to play, regardless if it's down or up. This is the type of trend I like to play, where one side of the book is in complete control. It's not wicky. There's plenty of momentum. It's beautiful. These are the fun ones to trade. Had to sit back and watch today because I was making breakfast during the move and not chasing. That's okay. That's okay. There's always going to be moves. Took one trade and clocked 10% in 4 minutes. Nice, Christos. Beautiful. I can't wait for the day I hold my positions and not sell. Well, the one thing about these positions I want to make sure you understand, I'm sure you do because I've said it, is that I'm scaling out on the way down. I'm never holding an entire position the whole way. So when I say 200%, it's 200% on a fraction of a small part of the position. So rarely, if ever, do I hold an entire position the whole way. And I think that's a smart way to trade, is you take profits at key levels. And that's because I'm a probability trader. Because 10% of the time it's going to do a trend like this. 90% of the time it's going to bottom wick and reverse and come back up and take away my profits. So I have to play the same way every time. How do I know how many legs I should go below or below the money? What do you mean? If you only got one contract, then you don't have the luxury of scaling out or holding till 200%. You just don't. You have to take a smart play and a smart exit. And I wouldn't feel discouraged if you can't get 200% wins on a one contract. It's just you don't have the luxury of holding a long time. Not with zeros. Consistent trading is was what we're trying to achieve, not a single day big home run. Is there a call and strategy can be applicable on Top Step? Yes, you can. The problem with prop firms is that their single day loss rules, they keep you from holding positions through any kind of loss. That's the problem. That's my biggest detractor with prop firms. So as long as you can kind of navigate your way through that, then yeah, absolutely, you can do prop firms with this. All right, what are your thoughts on positions like this? I took a longer dated put today that after that bounce at 4,400. It's up 35%, but I bought it with macro trend in mind, so I expect more red next week. This is similar to my previous DM, if you remember. With a small account, I only buy one when it's bigger. Contract like that. Do I take my win or stick to my thesis? What expiration? $11.17. I think it's worth holding. Then again, I mean, that's really up to you. There's a couple of different options. Obviously, sell premium against it, play against it when it's going up, that type of thing. I will tell you this: the options chain is in your favor for next week. Let's put it that way. It's in your favor for next week. I want to take it slow next week. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Yeah, sometimes your biggest losses come after your biggest wins. This week and last week have been the best 2 weeks. Only 2 red days, and most of the winners were in high 3 digits. Nice. One was high 4 digits. I haven't had a 4-digit win in a long time. I'm using Waybill, but it doesn't allow me for trailing stops. Should I use other brokers? Yes. What is COB and SVP? That is the order book and the session range volume profile. Freaking beautiful, man. Freaking beautiful. A little bit of bullishness here. Bought it back up. I've got 3 contracts remaining. 3. Perfect bounce on that prior low of day pivot. Yeah. I want to hold some and stick to my thesis to play against it like I did last one, as long as I'm not making clearly bad decisions. Yeah, definitely. Of course, you could set stops and all that stuff, and if you've got a little bit more capital to play with, you can PDS it, you could PCS it. A PDS is a little less risk. You could ratio the thing. I mean, there's a lot of different options you could do. But the only thing I would definitely encourage you not to do is don't do nothing. Don't just sit there and hold it if you're wrong and do nothing. So just manage it. That's all. So seductive. Let's see here. Man. What a day, dude. Try snow at ski. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do this year. We're going to Vail in December. And Vail's right down the road from Keystone. And Keystone offers night skiing. So we're going to, after we wrap up a day on the Vail, we're going to drive over to Keystone and do some night skiing this year. We always wanted to do that. Coming to Vail? Come on, bro. Do I trade futures? Yes, I do. Let's do the conference in Colorado. I'd love to. I'm thinking of taking profits now, like a blackjack dealership told me. If everyone took their money when they doubled up, the casinos would go bankrupt. Yeah. You're very right, side gig. My dad worked there in the 70s. Nice. In the beginning of the stream, you said everything was skewed for downside. What is GEX data in the heat map that you think that? So, I'm a big believer in options chain data. I think if you can learn to read option chain data, you can get a better handle on the direction of the market mechanics. Yesterday, we noted that the options chain data was pointing towards 430 for today, and even lower on Monday. So we have a lot of Vanna pulling lower. We have the GEX shifting way lower, and of course the main delta strikes is 430. So there's a whole bunch of options chain data that was pulling lower tomorrow. They are positioning themselves for a pull lower today. That's why my target right now in SPY is 430. Make sure everyone got some clear Googles for night skiing. Oh, that's a good point. You know, I've got 3 different lenses. I'll have to shift them out. That's a good point. Nice, SOM. Well done. What's your outlook for the market next week? I think eventually we'll transact into the 420s as SPY. So a little bit lower. Microsoft closes $69 billion Activision deal. Interesting. Yeah. They have a nice little ladder building at 4,200. Whole bunch of liquidity stacked in down here too. Collectively. 4,350. How about night skiing pudding with the Dean? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Do I have a discount code for tier 2? No. I try to keep my servers pretty competitively priced against other servers. So I don't do discounts on them. Have to thank you for the intro to IBKR. Been getting in and out using one contract each time, getting more comfortable. Nice, David. Well done, buddy. Do you mind explaining the bookmap setup real quick? What portal this is? This is through Rhythmic. So I think collectively I pay about $210 for all this stuff. It's a standalone desktop software in which you use Rhythmic data to pull in the feed, and I currently have the MBO package. Do you know how to change the quantity on IBKR for exit strategy? Yeah. So if you go down to your order entry, just click on the quantity bottom left, and you can change your lots. Now, if you're talking about an already existing order, go into orders, and then go into your quantity, and you can adjust the quantity. That's the great thing about IBKR is you could sit there and like actively adjust open orders without having to cancel the order. It's pretty cool. Yeah, go into your orders tab. Would you enter puts now if you weren't already in puts? I am considering adding more exposure. I'm just trying to find another entry to do it. Right now, it's the lower we go without a bounce, the lower probability we is. Now we could continue to waterfall all day, which I don't really know. But I'd be a little more selective being down here, especially until we break yesterday's lows. Yeah, if you've already hit your day, then yeah, step out. Step out. Did that answer your question, Mike? Interesting. So still from a VPA standpoint, what do we see? Every single time the buyers hit, what do y'all see? Who can tell me on this 5-minute chart right here? So every single time the buyers hit, here, 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 we have inverse volume, a decelerating trend. There, there, there. Oh, what the crap is this? There we go. Right there. So we don't have any strength in buyers right now. Yet. As opposed to this style of volume. It's the highest volume candle we had at this point all day. That's what you want to see for momentum shift. An absolute onslaught of volume. And then hold. Look at this. Increase in volume on this move up. So VIX is approaching 20. It's up 16%. One of the biggest moves we've had on VIX in a single day in a while. Let's see. It is now, wow, man, it's already 11:15. Jeez, man. What's up, Matt? How you doing, buddy? Is Tier 2 subscription is your strategy in futures trading to have video courses, tutorials? Yep. So a part of the Tier 2 is we have bi-weekly Zoom calls where all the Tier 2 members get on and we do curriculum teaching and then open Q&A. They're all recorded and they're posted on the website, so you can go back and research and watch all the prior ones. And it goes over pretty much everything and anything high level what we talk about. In addition to the Tier 2, you get the weekly macro levels I post every Sunday night. You get the Sunday night game plan call, which we review the week. You get the coffee and charts call, which is new. We started doing on Tuesday or Thursdays a couple of weeks ago. What else do y'all get? What else? I think that's it. That's it. Microsoft is getting smoked. Still falling on Microsoft. Easy to see. 101. The Dad's Joke newsletter, yeah. If you sign up for Lifetime, you get our monthly Dad Joke newsletter where I post the collection of my best dad jokes. Still going? Yeah, I mean, right now, I don't see any strength. Normally, Coffee and Charts is at 8:30 Eastern Time every Thursday. If we don't have anything to talk about, I'll let y'all know we won't do it. I won't waste y'all's time. Hey, here, if you're cold, go stand in the corner. It's 90 degrees. Love it. Love it. 3.92%. Got to drop some trees and get on the Bobcat. I love it, Willers. Come move some logs on my property. Bring your Bobcat over. Could this be a elusive 3% down day? Where are we at now? We are now down. Nah. No, not today. There's too much way to go. We were too bullish in pre-market for this to go down 3%. I think that's Monday. Yeah, buddy. You're incredibly accurate. Thanks, Jerome. I have to go now, but I'll be signing up for your service. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks for being here. You've lost audio, so you can't hear me, but I appreciate you being here. See you, Withers. Have a good day, buddy. What are y'all watching in school? Wait, let me see if I can guess that movie. Hold on. That is the chick from Wedding Crashers. I don't know. But very nice. Yeah, school's very different nowadays, definitely. All right, 43.63. So the Bulls are still holding. Do you think it's smart to use daily drawdown and percentage amount instead of a dollar amount? I mean, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, they're kind of one and the same once you get very familiar with your account size, but yeah. That's a big bullish move right there. Now make sure you hit the like button, especially if, oh yeah. You're up 300% today? Nice, Mike. Well done, buddy. It's incredible. If I make 20% on the account in a week, next week I can set a max drawdown of 10%. I don't want to change my drawdown based on what I make. I want to keep things consistent. That's how you keep your capital equity curve upwards. So I don't care if I make 50% on my portfolio this week. My drawdown for the day is going to stay the same next week. Because that, if you start doing that, you're going to start making 10% giving back 6, making 20 giving back 12. Like, I don't want to do all that. And the whole reason that, if you think about what the purpose of that drawdown is, it's not financial. Having a weekly drawdown or a daily drawdown is not strictly just saying, all right, well, I hit 1% of my account, I'm out for the day. If you do that consistently in the week, that tells you that that week conditions are not suiting your eye. And that tells you I need to stay off. I need to get out until conditions change. I need to really back off until I figure this out. And that all boils down to, yeah, risk management and plotting your trades, is journaling your trades, because that tells you something's wrong. Instead of white knuckling fighting it and continuing to lose money, I need to back off and figure out what's going on. Managing yourself, managing the trades is way more important than learning any kind of technical knowledge, because that's going to keep you safe. According to Royal LePage, home prices in Canada are expected to jump $54,000 or 54,000 Canadian dollars by wintertime, according to Unusual Whales. Nope, I just use order entry. BlackRock sees significant interest among pension funds to cut equity exposure and lock in yields. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? How would they lock in the yields and cut equity exposure? Flight to safety. Lock in yields means buying the bonds to lock in the yield, meaning the yields are not really going to go up too much more, and cut their equity exposure. That right there is one sentence to define the flight to safety. Right there. That's the flight to safety trade. Will that mean interest rates will start to come down? I mean, eventually, yeah. Once they start in a cut rate environment, but the inverse trade on the bonds the bonds will decouple. Hold on a second. I need to set my trailing here on the earnings. Make sure where it's at. All right, I'm approaching back down to my 50% on my remainders. So My trailing stop will trip here shortly. So the reason why it's going to screw everybody is because everyone is used to the correlation between bonds and equities. TLT goes up, equities go up. TLT goes down, bonds go down. Well, the flight to safety is going to inverse everybody. Bonds are going to rocket, equities are going to crash, and yields will go down with it, which will be opposite of what people are used to. So it's going to smoke everybody when that happens. So, not this one though, Kevin. If BlackRock was transitioning into bonds, we would see it in the volume. And right now, they're not. Nobody's transitioning into bonds yet. I'm going to subscribe to Tier 2 now, but it says I need to log in on your website using my Discord. How do I know I've already logged in your website using my Discord? Yeah, so there's a login page where you like the little Discord widget. You have to log in with your Discord credentials first and then subscribe, and it'll automatically link up all of your roles and stuff. Bloomberg just posted that comment. I'll have to look up to see what article it comes from. Right here. So I haven't hit my 50% stop loss yet. I'm going to leave it there. So, thanks for working with me. You're an awesome person who cares about people. Oh, thanks, Damien. I appreciate that, buddy. I'm always happy to help, man. I love working with y'all. $43.69. I think it's about ready to call it a morning for me. I am beat. My eyes are crossing, and I'm hungry. That is a good solid 3 hours of streaming right there. Flew by. Time flies when you're having fun, right? So, I'm seeing some increase in consumer credit card trouble, but that's not a major concern yet. Yeah, I guess you could say an exponential increase in the yield or in the credit card trouble would be considered some increase, sure. So 43, 432, 54. Ford 368. I'll meet you one day. Absolutely, Kevin. Absolutely, buddy. I look forward to meeting all y'all, man. It's good stuff. Still expecting a bearish day today? A firm, yeah. So, did GEX change for next week? Let me take a look here. Refresh. Expiration filter. 13. That's today. 16. No, it did not. Did not change for next week. 16. Good golly almighty. Look at this on next week. This is why. It's only getting more green delta for Monday. It's building bigger and bigger, more robust to the positive deltas. Hope you all have a good rest of the day too, Xander, for sure. If y'all are having issues, shoot me a DM in the Discord. You'll have to add me as a friend first, and then well, I'll help you out. How do you figure out GEX myself? I use Tradietics to organize my data. That means dealers are going to be selling to go down, yeah, to hedge delta neutral. An extremely positive delta environment requires selling to hedge to delta neutral. That's the underlying theme. The Vanna pull right now is 424 for Monday. So I would look for about under 424 into 420 going into next week. $420 Monday. That's going to be crazy. So that's so far a nice little 20-point bounce on ES. That's a nice little move by the Bulls. Refreshing all of this after a lot of selling. That was what? 54 points of selling? Yeah. Oh, definitely. I'll meet you too, Kevin. I saw that. That'll be fun. We'll do the maybe we can all get together, do a morning workout before the conference. It'll be good. Get some weight in. Your port's all-time high again? Nice, Kevin. Man, you're killing it, dude. Keep it up. It's incredible. I'm almost to my stop. My stop is $13. My trailing stop for these positions. It's about to trip. Most likely it'll trip it. Selling options is the way, for sure. I was up 3%, lost it all in that run up, down 4%. Man, you got to set trailing stop, dude. Don't give back. That's a 3% gain is a big move. So the SEC adopts the rule to increase transparency in short selling, where short sellers are forced to report within 15 minutes of the deal. That's change. That's different. Interesting. All right, y'all, that is 12:30. I'm going to call that a morning. I'm still going to be popping into the market to kind of see where this things go the afternoon. I'll see if we jump on. If things do continue to pick up in volatility, I'll come back on for another afternoon stream. And we'll lock out the week. We'll do a little bit of analysis on the GEX, on the deltas, on the Vanna, on the VPA. We'll see what the daily chart looks like. And we'll go into that and go into Monday. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Links are, if you want to come on join the community, links are down in the description of the YouTube video. Come hang out with us. Pretty low entry. So you could join the community for a month for the price of a Taco Bell meal. So, good stuff. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate the support. I'll see you all possibly this afternoon. If not then, early on Monday morning. Y'all have a good rest of the day. I'm out. See ya!